My friends hate when I say this, but I always tell them that the best place for ideas is a graveyard because so many people have these insane ideas and they never act on them.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's really important to kind of be that voice and tell people that if it fails, no big deal, but you got to take that risk.
Welcome to Extraordinary Stories. I'm your host, Forbes Shannon. With me today,
Christine Butler.
And in studio, we have one of the bright young minds in Extraordinary.
That's right.
I'm really excited to introduce him to the group. He was the Nickelodeon and Time Magazine Kid of the Year, and that's just the beginning of his publicity. The one and only Dylan Capshaw.
Yeah,
Dylan.
thanks for having me on.
Hey,
Welcome,
man.
Dylan.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I nominated you because of we ran into each other in the same circles at Venture Cafe Phoenix, but you're also a Sun Devil. So what made you go ASU?
Yeah, so my entire high school journey, I would hammer to my parents that I was not going to college. College was not for me. They did not like that at all. And they kind of said, keep dreaming. And then finally, when I was probably a junior, I really started getting into business and my mom caved and she said, okay, you don't want college, I understand. And then once she caved, I was like, well, college seems fun. So I kind of
reverse psychology.
did a 180 and then it worked. Yeah. And then I chose ASU due to the proximity to my businesses. I couldn't go too far and I've been loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many businesses do you have now?
Right now I'm running 3 full time.
Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's hear about them.
Yeah. So the oldest one that I have at the moment that's still going it's called Stemistry, and it's a coffee shop and flower shop all in one. I started it when I was 15. I signed my first lease, and I've been growing that ever since. We're opening 1 location a year. Then I realized I was insane and I stopped. We were at 3 at our peak, and then my first store lease ran up. I absorbed it into the rest, and I'm at 2 right now. One just outside Old Town and one in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
Very cool.
It's been great. I've been loving that. Then I run the Wild West Party Bus, which is a giant party bus based out of Old Town Scottsdale. It was built to embody Scottsdale's motto as the West most Western town. It's got giant bullhorns on it. It's all country themed.
Okay.
Been running that since September. And then most recently, I launched a peptide tracking app. So anybody using GLPs or TRT or any of the peptides that are blowing up right now, it's an app where you can kind of manage protocols all in one. So
Sweet.
that's my scope all over the place right now.
Okay. I now see where the award comes from. I mean, you were a little entrepreneur. So where do you get these ideas from? Because they're quite different.
All over the place, which is not great because it's hard to excel in multiple different areas. So I try to reel myself in, but I think as an entrepreneur, people are just always coming up with ideas, and it's hard to kind of vet which ones are good and which ones are not. My issue is I act on all of them, and then I figure out later in the journey whether or not it was good.
Yeah.
So over the years, I've had a lot of different companies I've built and sold or dissolved, and I think it's the best way to learn, that hands-on, just guerrilla style. You get to be really creative, and you have to be resourceful with low capital.
Yeah.
And those lessons, even though they're all different types of business, they really do apply to each. It's the same fundamentals.
Okay. I got to know, how often are you on the bus?
I tried to get my CDL when I was buying it, and the insurance company said there is no way they're insuring a 20-year-old guy, which is already the most expensive insurance you can get. So I am not allowed to drive it.
Party in it.
But yeah, I'll go with some friends. I'm at ASU, so I'm constantly pitching it to the fraternities and groups there. And I am on it a really decent amount. We have an onboard DJ and bartender, so I use all my friends to work it. So I'll shuttle them out to the bus, get them set up, clean. Something's always broken, so fixing it. So I'm at the bus at least a couple times a week, mostly on the weekends, getting ready.
Every entrepreneur that we've had on this show, they started a venture because they noticed a problem. So, did you have a bad party bus experience? Where?
Kind of. Not necessarily myself, but I got to ASU. My first semester, I rushed a fraternity, and every weekend they're getting these party buses, and they were just very generic. The big black buses, inside was bare bones, pretty uncomfortable seats. And I thought there is really a market here. So I started looking into the themed buses. Every single one is catered towards women and bachelorettes. So they're pink, they're very extravagant, but none of them could even be slightly considered masculine. So I figured there's a market for this, a bus that could easily be for a bachelor party, but also could host a group of girls or for college students, and it's a little more fun. So I started doing some research, and I actually found this business that was built by this incredible woman who had a vision to build. It's called the Wild West Party Bus. So she started it. She built the Western theme, all of it. But she never actually brought it to market. So I was able to connect with her. I took over the business. She relocated to Florida, and I actually brought it to market, got it DOT certified, all that stuff, which was a lot to learn at first. But I kind of identified that need for a themed bus that could go both ways, and just been capitalizing on it ever since.
Wow, that's incredible. So who kind of helps you spring these ideas to life?
Yeah, I have definitely a lot of mentors that I will talk to and kind of consult with. My mom, my poor mom, I call her nonstop with business ideas, and she's like, "You have so much on your plate. Do not do it." So I vet pretty much everything with her. But I'd say that's pretty much it. I'll do research online. Always do market research, see if there's a need for it.
Hmm.
Check and kind of see revenue that I would need to be making and money you have to have in reserve to get it running for a couple months and
Mm,
all that looks good, then I'll jump in.
mm.
That's incredible.
What is your brand?
So lately, I've been trying to focus on building more of a personal brand. I think it's really important in entrepreneurship because you can kind of have that following. You push out businesses; it already gives you that base to grow it with.
Right.
So very recently, I published my first day in the life video on YouTube. I
Okay.
had a great time making that. It's only like 500 views, but I had a lot of fun for the day.
That's awesome.
So I've been trying to grow. But what I always tell people is I love entrepreneurship, especially kids in entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
or anybody who is kind of unconventional in the space. Somebody that's been working a 9 to 5 for 30 years, but has been sitting on this business idea.
Mm.
My friends hate when I say this, but I always tell them that the best place for ideas is a graveyard because so many people have these insane ideas and they never act on them.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's really important to kind of be that voice and tell people that if it fails, no big deal, but you got to take that risk.
Yeah, but what's the vibe of the brand? Like, I want to
Vibe
get
of the
down.
brand?
Yeah, I'm trying to break you out of your media training. You see this media training this
Who
kid?
are
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the experience that people have of you?
I mean, a lot of people assume I don't go out or socialize. I am in college. I love to have fun, so I always say as well, work hard, play hard. You know,
Mhm.
Monday through Thursday, I'll be working all day, but Friday, Saturday, if my staff calls me, there's no way unless it's an emergency. I'm not answering that phone. I'm out with my friends.
Uh-huh.
ASU is a great time, a lot to do in Tempe.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have balance. If I find myself working too much, I will completely burn out and party way too hard, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
it's really important to stay balanced.
Hmm.
But I think that's me. I kind of like to be involved in every aspect, have fun, but work and get good grades.
Mm.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
basics.
How do you spend your Saturday morning?
Saturday morning is work, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go to the shops.
See how long he made it, like with that, like little white lie. He's like, I don't
It
work on
was like
Friday
a-
or Saturday.
yeah.
It's like, what do you
Yeah,
do Saturday morning?
it's work. It's nights. I should specify. I wish I
Nights
could.
are free. Okay.
Yeah. So Saturday I'll go to the shops, get it ready.
Uh-huh.
If I can take it off, I will. But I really do love to work, so I tell myself I hope I can be home for the day. But if I am, I'll leave. And then probably around 2 or 3, I'll check out. Go get ready, and
Mhm.
then meet up with some friends and do whatever it needs to be
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
weekend. But yeah, typically work.
Well, if you're having fun and you love it, then is it even really work?
True.
It's a great point.
Right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you're a young entrepreneur. What, in your opinion, makes the perfect candidate for an entrepreneur?
Mm.
Has to be someone that's delusional, right?
I
when
love
you're-
that. It's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important because when you're in business, especially in entrepreneurship and doing something that really hasn't been done before, the odds are almost never in your favor. So you have to just tell yourself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I've been running STEMistry now for it'll be 5. It just was 5 years, and still I have to tell myself like this will pull through. This will pull through. So
Mm.
you just have to believe in yourself, and you have to be relentless, and you have to persevere. I've had so many businesses that have crashed and burned and been huge failures, but I learned from it. I was resilient, adapted, and kept
Mhm.
going. So I think it's important in entrepreneurship. If you're on the sensitive side, or if you know you started and it doesn't work, you're gonna give up. Not a good candidate. for
Yeah, so you
entrepreneur.
can't be a crybaby.
For
Right.
sure. You gotta be tough skin.
What was, yeah, right? It's that country song, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
What was your favorite failure?
My favorite failure. When I first, so STEMistry started as drop shipping. I was drop shipping during COVID. I was stuck at home, couldn't do anything. Tried all these different products. Nothing was selling. Drop shipping was like the thing to do at the time. So I started selling flowers, fresh flowers. Nobody was doing
What
it.
kind?
Everything. We had every
Mhm.
kind of fresh flower. I started with eucalyptus, and I marketed it as aromatherapy shower bundles. And shipping, this started in April, so the summer, hot. It was very hard, the logistics. We would overnight all the flowers, and I did that for about 8 months, made 6 figures in profit. It was incredible. It was my first taste of actual success.
Mhm.
And I decided, this is so easy. I'm going to open up brick and mortars. That way, when I'm in school, staff can ship the orders. I'm going to tie in coffee, flowers and coffee go great. And I didn't do any research at all into what it took running a brick and mortar. So it went from a one-man show in my garage where I was doing everything to having employees at 15. And that was for sure a failure. It was extremely difficult hiring.
Mhm.
I didn't really have a voice at the time. I would get steamrolled for sure. It was very hard for me to discipline
Mhm.
employees, especially when they have kids my age. So
Yeah.
I should have
Yeah.
done my due diligence there and know what that took. but I learned and I was
Mhm.
able to kind of build up my confidence over the years. But
Mhm.
that was for sure a failure. The first couple of months were not easy.
Yeah.
Well, looking back on it in retrospect, was it a failure?
I learned from it. So I have no regrets. I think that every single failure, like you're saying, you learn from and you take that. And I was able to tell myself what I say goes at the end of the day. I value their opinions. I love having a productive workspace where everybody can contribute and grow the company together. But at the end of the day, I have to be the one that makes the decisions and makes those calls. And I had to learn that the hard way.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Who taught you how to be an entrepreneur?
I I mean, it's been a lot of little pieces. My mom is definitely a huge inspiration to me. She's a dentist, and she took over a family practice. She's the fourth generation, so I'm gonna be the one to break the chain of dentists in our family.
Sure. Uh-huh.
But
You got nice teeth, so
thank
I
you.
mean,
That's important. So she took over that practice, and she's since expanded to other locations. So entrepreneurship comes in every single form, and in her case, it's just through growing these practices. So I'm able to ask her a lot about payroll, staff, HR, just legal questions, and she's taught me a lot. When I first opened my stores as well, I hired a business consultant because my employees, it was very bad. So she came in and she kind of pulled everything together. She taught me how to build up that confidence a little bit with hiring, with firing. We pretty much cleared
Mhm.
house and tried it again, and it worked. So I
Mm.
think it's important to really identify your own strengths and weaknesses and know that
Mhm.
that's okay. Another quote I love is do what you do best and delegate the rest. So I know there are some places that I'm terrible at and I'll hire to fill all of those, and that's totally fine. And then other areas
Mhm.
I excel in, and I can allow myself to work in that
Yeah.
aspect.
Um, what are your friends like?
So I have not had the luxury of surrounding myself with too many people that are into entrepreneurship that much as of yet. In college, it's helped a lot. In high school, I had a very how do I put it lightly? A friend group that loved to party. So I would
Mm.
be getting into trouble a good amount. And it's like part of me is doing the businesses and working and all this stuff. And then
Yeah.
the other part of me is doing things I really should not have been doing on the
Mhm.
weekends.
Mm.
Right.
And that was difficult, but it's important. You're a kid, have fun. Again, no regrets there.
Mhm.
Now in college, more of my friends are into that entrepreneurship. And they have that similar mindset, which is great. And I've been
Mhm.
able to network outside of school. So really all over the place. But a lot of my friends, typical college, love to party, and they keep me balanced. So I'm grateful for that.
Mhm.
Nice. So, at your age, where is the place to network?
Mm.
It's a good question. I mean, social media is huge. When I posted
Mhm.
that day in the life, we did 10 reels as well, just from clips from the actual YouTube video and
Mhm.
posted it. And I probably met in person 10 people straight from my DMs that had incredible business opportunities or wanted to reach out and talk. And I never really understood that social media could actually build these real world face to face
Yeah.
connections like that. So that
Mhm.
was kind of surprising to me that if I'm
Mhm.
putting out content, people will really see it and reach out and you can build these incredible relationships.
Mm.
I think that
Mhm.
conferences sometimes can be great. I was just at the Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit in Phoenix.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I met the coolest people I've ever met in my life.
Mhm.
So many cool people that want to go into business together, invest, whatever it might be. I probably added 20 contacts to my phone, and I'm really grateful for that.
Mm.
And then just in school, clubs, fraternities, social
Mhm.
organizations, you can meet so many people that can really advance in your career and maybe be a co-founder.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how much of AI is involved in your business?
It's interesting because I started before AI, I even knew what it was, and now I'm seeing it everywhere. So
Yeah.
I've been able to go from really zero to a lot more. And it's nice for simple tasks. I can tell if I'm communicating with somebody and it's AI that I'm talking to, if they're
Yeah.
ChatGPT in their responses. And
Right.
to me, that feels a little ingenuine. So I think it's important to find that balance. Where can
Absolutely.
I use it as a tool, but not a replacement?
Mm.
So we use Square as our point of sale. I
Mhm.
was able to put Claude, released a Square integration, had it come in, clean up the entire library, all of the modifiers, maximize efficiency. That was amazing for the shops. But beyond that, when I get emails or calls or texts, I will not use it to respond to any of that.
Love it.
Maybe help me kind of make a plan in order to respond because I'm
Yeah.
terrible at communicating online. But it really depends. With the party bus, I use it to generate leads. I use it for
Yeah.
SEO. I use it for web design. So that's big lately with the app I've been building. That was almost entirely built using AI. So
Mhm.
it's incredible, but I think it's important to find that balance on where to use it and how
Mm.
much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer that you have to use AI to become more human. That way you have
Yeah, it's
more
great.
time to do all of your human things, right?
Hmm.
Let robots do robot things so we can do human things.
Right, for
What
sure.
kind of human things do you like doing outside of work?
Mm.
Outside of work, so I'm a helicopter pilot. I love to fly. It's a super fun
Sweet.
hobby. Yeah, so
Okay.
Okay.
go out and do that time to time. I never realized that Arizona was such a popular place for pilots with the weather here.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I love being outdoors, whether it's hiking, just doing any activity, going on a run. Flying, that brings me a lot of joy. Love to socialize.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I just love to work. So not typical work like when I'm in the shops doing face-to-face things, but just online brainstorming, coming up with ideas, all of that. If I have a thought of a business, I'll sit and just make a whole business plan, get it printed out, and then just put it in a folder.
Yeah.
Say one day I'll have the capital for that. So that
Cool.
brings me joy. Just kind of brainstorming and always being
That's
creative.
awesome, man.
That's truly amazing.
What number in the order of photos is the picture of you in the helicopter pilot on your Hinge profile?
That's so funny. That picture was way overused, so I had to scale it back. It was everywhere. I had one photo that everyone, all my friends will know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The one photo.
The one, yeah.
As soon as you said that, I was like, that's dating profile material.
Yeah, no, that had to be phased out. It was overused.
That comes on the second date.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Right. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to focus on college more. I will admit I've gone a month or two without hitting classes, and then I'll get more into it. So I've been trying, like, teetering back and forth. I can't say I'll graduate, but I'm loving it just being there. And I think connections are everything. So the people I'm meeting, having a lot of fun. So I'm figuring that out for sure. With STEMistry, I'm kind of at this fork right now where I'm deciding if I want to invest into the 2 stores or continue expanding, which was my original goal, maybe out of state, which would be really, really cool. With the bus, I've been trying to get as creative as possible. We just launched some new packages for the summer. We're doing Salt River tours where we'll bring people out for floats. We're doing winery tours in Cottonwood. So I've been trying to always stay resourceful there. But really just kind of trying to maximize what I have right now before adding on more to my plate.
And you do have a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
And I want to add just one little more. So this question I try to avoid religiously. No pun intended, but religion and politics, something you don't talk about. But I do want to pick your brain about politics because of where we're at in today's day in society, right?
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, how do you feel overwhelmed with the current atmosphere of politics, whether it's left or right, wherever you stand? Do you find it nuts? Like the rest of it, like how does a young businessman, what's your view on today's day in politics?
You know, I try to avoid the news as much as I can because it can be depressing.
Yeah.
It can be, it's a pure source for anxiety.
Yeah.
I have enough to stress about bills and expenses and all that. I don't need more intentionally, but it's everywhere. I don't think we've ever been in such a insane time where it's so divided.
Yeah.
So I think as a business owner, very important to not necessarily put yourself out there too much. It's a dangerous topic. You're always going to upset somebody. So I do my best to stay as neutral as possible. And at the end of the day, obviously every vote matters, but in a time like this, like there is nothing I can do if I read a stressful article. Nothing. So I'm not going to let myself stress out too much about all that.
I feel like that's how a lot of us feel. Like, what are we going to do? Read it and then feel more depressed?
Right.
My buddy Jake has a really good bit about that. He got Jake Yardley. He got a push notification from the New York Times a couple months ago in the middle of the night that North Korea was like moving one of its nuclear missile ships, and he's like, "Hey, I appreciate the heads up, but like, I'm not the guy to tell."
Why do we need to know?
I don't know why the New York Times thought I needed to get this at 3 a.m., but
no, that's the thing.
I can't do anything about it.
Right. The news, they make money from fear mongering and from these attention grabbing articles and headlines and all that. And as long as you stay reading and invested, that's their goal. So a lot of it, like with that story, there's nothing I'm going to do about that, and that might mean nothing. Yeah. So a lot of it is just fear mongering. So
how long have you been like so aware?
I would like to think a good amount of time. I'm not sure. I've always been very just kind of set. I've always known what I wanted for as long as I can remember, and that was to work for myself, have that freedom, take care of my family, and those have really been core values I've had for as long as I can remember, elementary school, and I've always stood true to those, and I think that's important.
Well, was there a moment where you were like, "Oh, okay, this is how the world works"?
I think maybe when I started getting into brick and mortar, I was working face to face. I had employees, and I saw the other side of it. People coming in, customers might be happy, upset, and some people they're not too understanding with service workers. And I kind of understood that people are selfish at the end of the day, and some people there's great people out there, but there's also not. So it's important to just have a clear mission, values as a business goal, and just stick with it. I've had employees that have brought me way down. I've had employees that have taken me way up. So it's important to read people and stay true to yourself, I think.
Yeah. So how do you, in the moment, make sure that your actions fall in line with your values.
Mm.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like somebody was telling me all these things about how I was wrong in a situation, and I could have just let them be right, because that's one of my values is like, I don't need to get into anything
Mhm.
unnecessary. But there was just one point where I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna set the record straight.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I did it, I was like, I don't feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And
No,
so,
definitely.
like, how do you keep within your values in the moment?
The best way I do that is by never surrounding myself with yes people. Everybody I hire, and when I do job interviews, I'll ask questions, give them ideas that I know are terrible, and see what comes back. If they say that's a great idea, absolutely, instant, they're not getting hired. If they say like, "What are you talking about?" Right? They're on the team. So my general manager for STEMistry, she does an incredible amount for the business when I'm in school and tied up with these other businesses.
Mhm.
She's my first call if I have a new idea, and 9 out of 10 times she'll tell me, that is terrible, such a bad idea." And I think that's important because if
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
people around me that are feeding to my delusion, telling me that everything I say is gold, which I know is absolutely not true,
Yeah.
then I would get lost, and I think I would lose track of that. So
Yeah.
having people that stay real and tell me the truth is important to kind of keep me in line.
Yeah. The check that I use to determine if someone will be my friend or not is like, if I'm starting to get fat, will this person tell me?
Right?
Right?
Yeah,
And if
you
they
want
will,
honest people.
yeah, then you can be my friend.
Definitely.
Yeah. Right.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need the harsh love for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, totally.
She's got a bunch of it.
I was just like waiting for it.
So with the ideas that you have in the future, I'm curious about how you stay present with all the things that you have going on.
That's hard. That's really difficult. That's something I could definitely improve in. I'm constantly thinking ahead. It's difficult to stay present.
Mm.
There are certain things just when I have like impending bills or big projects coming up, you have to work in the moment because it goes step by step. The hardest time for me to stay present is when I'm building a business. So I do my best to really roadmap it. It's so easy to have an idea and focus
Mm.
on the very, very end goal when it's
Mhm.
huge and massive, you have employees and all of this and building space, but you have to take it step by step by step.
Mhm.
And I only look a couple ahead because it's easy to get lost. So
Mhm.
try to apply that same logic to life in general and just know that thinking far out, you get lost in between. So it's important to really strategize everything you do and make sure that each step is really taking towards your goal.
Mhm.
Focusing on the end, you can get lost.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a great point, right? Because when you're a visionary, you just envision the future.
Yeah.
So how do you stay present while envisioning, right? That's
For sure.
got to find that
Mhm.
harmony in that.
Yeah,
That's a hard thing to do.
absolutely. That's something I need to continue working on.
How do you harmonize?
Wow. Didn't see that one coming
Yeah.
back my way.
Whiplash.
I walk a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that. Because we had a guest on, Brandon Gerson, who was like talking about taking a walk, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a good piece of advice. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, I take like 6 walks a day. Like, why did that seem like a novel idea to me?
Yeah.
And it's just because it's just like such a natural part of, I don't know. I grew up with a dog,
hmm
so I was always walking the dog, and then now I don't have a dog. And for example, I got dropped off someplace this weekend, and I was like, I'll just walk. And I was on the phone with Aaron, and he's like, that's like 4 miles. I was like, no, it's really not that far. And then I had like a 2-hour conversation with Aaron on the phone. I was like, yo, I'm still walking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my moving my body in rhythm with my thoughts is how
Mhm.
I
Helps
harmonize.
clear your head.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If I can ground myself like in the moment, like by touching my legs or, stretching my legs, like that pulls me out of, whatever spiral my head is in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For me, it's my kids. Just hang out with
Mhm.
Declan for 5 minutes and you're thinking about Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
you
good
go.
stuff.
You just realize like what Aaron says, the title of his new book, it's just really
It's-
not that serious.
yeah, really
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, it's the little things.
Mm.
Mhm.
What other little mantras do you got? We can just go back and forth.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some. Put on the spot.
Party bus?
Yeah, with the bus, it's important to just stay grounded. I mean, you can get so
Mhm.
lost in social media. Comparison is the thief of joy. You hear that
There you
all
go.
the time, but it's
Yeah.
really, really, really true.
Mhm.
When you're online and you see these people living this lifestyle that you want to live, it's easy to think, why isn't that me right now? Or just focus on that. But there's so much that goes into it. And 99% of what you're seeing online is fake
Very
or
angled.
exaggerated. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. You never see the
Mhm.
full picture. So there's always more
Mhm.
to it. But people reach out to me and say, like, how do you do what you're doing? And I am very, very early in my journey. There's so much more I want to do. So I'll tell them, there's so much stress that comes with everything. I don't post the terrible things. I post my highlights. So you look on
Right.
someone's social media, those are the best moments of their life they're
Right.
trying to show off. You don't see all of the bad or even just the neutral with it. So don't compare yourself. I think that's important.
Mhm.
Really just stay focused and stay true to yourself on what you're trying to do, and that'll help you take it step by step.
Yeah. What's your favorite content on social media?
I love entrepreneurship content, just
Mhm.
learning. You and I were talking before this about how you can learn anything on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it is
Mhm.
so true. When I was first opening my coffee shop, AI didn't exist, at least how it does today.
Right.
I didn't know what it was. I learned everything on YouTube, negotiating a lease, reaching out to these brokers, hiring, firing, everything that went into running a brick and mortar. So I love
Did you
learning.
watch a YouTube video called How to Fire an Employee?
Almost 100% sure. Yeah, I definitely did, because the thing was, at 15, I had never had a job. So I'm learning how to do a job interview on each end. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it, things you never think about. How to be a plumber, electrician, right?
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
this,
yeah.
HR. So you got to know all of those. And YouTube taught me everything.
Mhm.
Now it's easy to chat GPT a quick question. I've had it write more legal contracts than I should have. So there's a lot you can do with it. But I love just educational content. Very easy to watch with short form content nowadays. It can get lost in it for hours,
Yeah.
and I think it's very damaging,
Yep.
especially for the youth, people that are
Yeah.
growing up just 1 to 2 seconds constantly.
Just gonna wake up and take reels to the dome.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's definitely messing up with our psyche. What is your guilty pleasure? What's your, guilty swipe?
Yeah. Interesting. I would say it used to be partying and socializing and all that. And then I realized that's a part of life. Nothing to be ashamed about, hanging out
Mhm.
with friends.
Mhm.
Honestly, my guilty pleasure nowadays is probably like short form content. I'll give myself like 10 minutes on TikTok.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
got to stay up with the
Yeah.
trends too. I'm young. I'm hearing these words. I have no idea what they mean. So I have to educate myself too. And I'll tell myself that's just me learning my culture
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
youth. But that really is a guilty pleasure. I feel very guilty after like 10 minutes on there, and your brain, you just, every single video will enact a certain emotion, and you're going from one to another, bouncing back and forth. So I would say that's about it. I try to only do things that are productive. So if I'm doing something that I feel is not productive, I do my best to steer clear.
What do you like on vacation?
On vacation, nobody wants to be on vacation with me. I am the most stressed out person. My family, we really are testing it when they bring me. It's difficult. No one will share a hotel room with me. I'm extremely scheduled and routined. Every single morning, I'm up at 5 a.m. pretty much, and I have my morning schedule, work, emails, coffee. It's just very scheduled, and I get very comfortable in my routine. Routine can be dangerous because you want to continue to grow and you can get stuck and complacent. So I never let myself get complacent in a routine, but I stay very scheduled. Every day, all day, whether it be meals or a quick break, is scheduled out for me. So
High
on
five.
vacation, right?
High five. I
Thank
make
you.
itineraries for
Yeah.
everything we do.
Yep.
So yes.
That's how you stay on it.
Yes.
So vacation, I can't do that. I have no schedule. I have no structure. I'm not in charge of booking the hotels and all that and tours for the day. So I'll be saying to my parents, like, okay, what are we doing tomorrow? Tour by tour, and I'm putting it in my phone. So I get very stressed. And when I'm not here, I feel like businesses might be sinking, which they're not. My staff is handling it, but a nervous wreck, to answer your question.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What you need to do is make an itinerary, okay? I'm the queen of this. And then
Okay.
just put in a little 30-minute block where you can stress out. And then the rest you're not
That's
allowed
a
to
great
stress
idea.
out.
I'm gonna
okay?
keep that
Just
tip. Just give myself time to do
Time
it.
boxing to freak
You
out.
have
Right.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then turn it off.
I haven't heard that one. Yeah, that would probably help.
Yeah. For us, anal people, we got to just schedule the time to freak out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'll take that
Mhm.
advice this summer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a nightmare to go on vacations with.
Really?
And then I just was like, what's the point? Like I went on a couple vacations this last year and didn't bring my laptop, which I was trying to say to the
Wow.
person I was going on a trip with, like what a feat it was.
Yeah.
And she was so unimpressed, I was like, you don't understand, this is a big deal. She's like, yeah, you sound like a lunatic. Yeah.
That was a big deal. I couldn't do that.
Right. Yeah.
I
thank
would
you.
not be able to
Yeah.
believe it.
See, that's the validation I needed. Yeah.
Good job, guys. Good job.
So what are you curious about lately?
I think with AI, it's like I can never learn enough. Every single day, I feel like, all right, I have a feel for this model or whatever it might be, and then the next day, it's completely different. It's growing at a pace that's never been seen before. So I'm trying to stay on top of it. It's such a huge opportunity, right? Being born into this timeline and growing with AI in unison. So I'm trying to stay fluent and understand all of it, because a lot of people will turn their head to it and say AI is not the future, and they really will be left behind whether they like it or not. I think that AI is absolutely going to become a part of everyday life. And we're in the beginning stages and it's already unbelievable. Give
Mm-hmm.
it 5 or 10 years and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
be way more behind. So I try to really stay on top of that. And that's been another like creative outlet. I'll go on and brainstorm. I mean, we're in a time where if somebody has a business idea and they don't have anything except the idea, they could have a full business plan in 30 seconds.
Yep.
It's really unbelievable. So that has not been good for me because every business idea I have instantly on, building out, is this realistic? Give me some market research. But it's a tool. So
Yep.
that's definitely something I've been trying to focus on a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what people build. I
Yeah.
mean, the level of creativity is just going to skyrocket, or it won't, or they'll make AI do it, right? So it's like, I think half of the people are going to be super creative and create the best inventions, and then
Mhm.
you have the other half that will fall off. You know,
Totally.
you got to decide which one you want to be.
Yeah. There's bad with all good. So I think
Mhm.
there's gonna be a lot of good with AI and there's gonna be some bad with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to try and mitigate that as much as you can.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to see the things that don't improve over the course of technology. Like Chris Rawlinson, a guest that we had on, he's like, my toast still gets burnt. Like,
Yeah.
like we're doing all this and we still haven't figured out toast,
Yeah.
right?
This is very true. And then
Yeah.
there's so many things that we could, like a colander. I want a cool colander, right? Like I think of kitchen tools or like
Like they haven't improved upon. Yeah, I guess how are
Yeah.
you going to improve on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it'll be like a renaissance. People are going to appreciate things that are actually human made more, right? You see AI
Mhm.
art or
Yeah.
slop as it's called. And
Mhm.
some of this stuff like you appreciate now when you see something built by a human or written or it's easy to identify. I see an M dash in something and I instantly have a feeling that might not have been human generated.
Yes.
And you become grateful
Well,
for little things.
you know what? As writers, Forbes and I have been ghostwriters for many years, and the M dash used to be our favorite
Oh
tool,
no.
and now
Yeah.
we can't use it without us.
Really?
Being
Well,
claimed.
because it's a sophisticated
Yeah,
tool.
it's-
I was like, as I would write them, I was like, you dumb writers don't even know what I'm doing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now it's
Now we're back to commas.
yeah,
Yeah,
It is what it is.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Like IKEA furniture might just take off. In
That's a
the
good
age of
point.
AI, just like see that coffee table.
Yeah.
I put that together.
I made that shit right
There you go.
It's not real wood, but I made it.
Yeah. And see, it's easy to appreciate the craft now more so than before, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I wanna be like Seth Rogen and make pottery. I feel like that's
For sure.
my retirement.
Okay.
Just make pottery,
We can
and it's
make
gonna
that
be
happen.
ugly, but it'll
Yeah.
be human.
It's a good way to stay present.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. And we'll get you in touch with Seth. We'll figure that out. Yeah. Hey, we asked this question to everyone that comes on the podcast. If you could give one piece of advice that our listeners could use today to live more extraordinarily, what would it be?
I would say that there's nothing holding you back, right? Whether you want to be in entrepreneurship or you want to be a step up in your career or there's a project you've been wanting to start that you've been holding off, really think about it. There's never a good time to start ever. There will always be pros and there will always be cons. So really maybe put together a pros and cons list and see or a Venn diagram, what's really holding you back. And most of the time you'll see those things aren't changing. And if you want to change, you got to do it yourself. So don't stay complacent. Think of something you've been wanting to do and start it.
Sweet.
Make a Venn diagram.
Yeah, it's a lost art.
I love it.
Yeah, that's something I learned in school that I actually kept.
Yeah. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
I love it. And AI can't make them. They're terrible at them. Yeah.
There you go.
It's
Yeah.
even better. Yeah. You can read more about Dylan Capshaw and the Extraordinary Network at extraordinary.network. That's EXTRAORDINARY.NETWORK and at Extraordinary Network on all of our socials. I'm Forbes Shannon.
I'm Christine Butler.
And I'm Dylan Capshaw. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man.